Players, could you pitch the first five on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and coaches the last two down there.
All right, we'll get started with this press conference for Evil Geniuses. This press conference will last no more than 20 minutes or until we have no further questions from the press. I would like to remind that when you are speaking for the players and coaches to hit the button on your microphone so that it turns green, and when you're finished speaking, hit it again so it turns red to avoid some sort of nasty feedback. Remote media is also present, and they will be allowed to submit questions via the chat and will be read aloud by me. For the press, in-house and remote, please direct your question to a member of Evil Geniuses. If you'd like to hear from many members of the team, choose someone to start. We can begin with questions from in-person media. Please raise your hand if you have a question.
All right, hello. My name is Ethan Garcia. I'm with Esports, and my question is for Calorie. So, regardless of today's outcome, what were your expectations for yourself heading into the match? And do you feel that the expectations that you set for yourself were met, exceeded, or you still kind of feel that you have a little bit more to prove?
I think I have more. I don't think it was the expectations I made for myself. I thought we could win matches. 3-1 both teams. I played that. So that's all. I learned.
Next question.
Hey guys, Jay Silver here from Game Elevate. My question is for the coaching staff for both Rigby and Turtle. With today's loss, you guys will be heading into the playoff stage in Mexico City. Without giving anything away, what do you think is going to be the most important thing to improve on to face off against some of the teams and Playins?
I mean, like, we're going to Mexico, and then it's like not so like safe place, so we're probably gonna just stay in a hotel, like practice like a lot. And then I think the meta on World is gonna be like far different compared to like NA, so like just adapting to it, and then like going for what we think is good is gonna be like for the play-ins.
Thank you so much.
And one more thing, it's good for us to practice a bit more with coverage too, for you to get used to the team and how to communicate with each other. So yeah, it's pretty much that.
Thank you both so much.
For EG, just a note when answering, if you could pull the mic a little closer to you, it's a little quiet right now. A remote question, with Worlds on home soil for the first time in 6 years, how excited are you to have a home crowd advantage? And do you have any expectations for the New York City fans, which tends to be the rowdiest in the world? This was not directed at anyone, so I'm going to arbitrarily choose Vulcan.
We're playing in Mexico first, so I'm not thinking about New York yet because plans are actually not that easy to make out of this year. So we actually need to take it seriously, and I don't think we have home advantage in Mexico. So, but if we make New York, I think that'll be hyped to have a home crowd and have the team cheer for us louder than the other team. So hopefully we make it.
Robert Haynes of the Gamehouse. This is for Inspired. You just won your second MVP. How does it feel to have an MVP in 2 different regions in 2 different years?
It's pretty good, honestly. It's pretty good.
This is Germ with I Am Germ. My question's for JoJo.
So obviously you haven't shied away from like trash talk with the EU teams, EU fans, all that stuff. But lately we've just been hearing about like 0-6 at MSI and all that stuff. So now going into plans, there's going to be 2 EU teams. I guess what do you have to say to the EU players, EU fans headed into Worlds now?
I mean, they're not G2, so I think G2 is like much better than the teams that are going. I think it's like Mad and I don't know who, Rogue or Fnatic, I don't know. But I think we'll be much better against them, yeah.
Thank you.
Question from remote media. This is for the coaching staff. What are your expectations moving forward to the play-ins, where you will face teams like RNG and Fnatic and even others like Detonation Focus Me, which put some kind of a fight against C9 last year?
I mean, like, I'm pretty excited that like play-ins like actually like the for this year is gonna be like a real deal. Every like last seed like that comes from like major region aren't like weak teams, and then going out of it would be like huge asset for us. And then like if you just prep well and then play well and then get out of play-ins, I think like there's like much more that we can look after. So I'm pretty excited for the play-ins.
The same.
Hey, Michael Termini with the Game House. This one's at Rigby. Unfortunately, I have to ask it. Who should fans be expecting to start in the ADC position for Worlds?
Kaori, I think. As of now, like Danny's just having like a well-needed rest, and then even though it was like short amount of like practice, we had like good times with Kaori. So like we're confident like whoever's coming, but like for now, Danny's taking rest, so I'll say Kaori.
Thank you.
Hi there, this is Nick Gerazi. My question is for Vulcan. Vulcan, you guys had a pretty competitive series today. While it wasn't the result you wanted, you were able to push it to Game 5 with a roster you've had, I assume, less than a week of practice on. Overall, how did you do compared to expectations in this series? And what do you think this roster, if this is the roster we see at Playins, needs to improve on most before those matches?
I don't think individually I played very well. I think as a team we had good moments. I think Kaori played very well. Even though you'll say he played bad, I think he played well. And I think, especially Game 5, I could have laid better and punished the Stark a bit more, but I didn't. And then we had like no pressure because of that. And other than that, for plans, I think the biggest thing we need to work on, as Turtle has mentioned before, we need to get more reps in with Kaori. Obviously, it's not easy to just jump in and play after it was like, I don't know, not even 10 scrims. So we'll have to get on the same page more, and I guess just not int. We had a few ints in this series. So, yeah.
Thank you.
This question is for Impact. Impact, reflecting on the split, what do you think were some of the glaring weaknesses that prevented the team from winning back-to-back titles?
That doesn't work. Okay. Why we Rose? We're just worse than enemy.
I think he means coach gap.
Oh yeah, kind of coach gap. I picked Simon, so it's coach gap.
This question's for Inspired from Travis Gafford of Travis Gafford Industries. Inspired, who do you expect to take tomorrow's match?
I think Cloud9 will win, and I think it will be like 3-1 if 100 Thieves will manage to somehow win one game.
Jay Silver from Game Elevator once again. I have a question for Impact. Impact, this is your return to Worlds after not making it for the past year and a half. Being a former world champion, what do you think of the current top lane pool of players that are going to be attending Worlds 2022, and how do you think you'll stack up against some of them?
Wait, let me think. Nokuri, Kingen, wait, and Zeus. Who's the other one? Wait, Doran, right? Yeah, I mean they're all pretty good lane pairs, and I don't know. I mean, I need to win playing stage first, so I cannot say that I can beat the top laners. I mean, I'm pretty confident. Let me think. I mean, win play stage first, but they're pretty good. That's all.
Thank you so much.
Question for Kaori. What are some of the biggest things you learned from your first series on the big stage?
I mean, I don't know how to answer this because like when you learn something, you don't see it like, oh, I learned this. You know what I mean? Like obviously, playing in front of crowd was a good experience, and like some of in-game plays I did learn, but like I can't say what I learned. I think it's hard to say.
This is Digon for Face Check, I guess. Jojo, you had a much improved playoff run than I think the regular season. What clicked for you, if anything, specifically here in the playoffs, including today's match?
I don't know. I mean, I think usually the other team plays worse in playoffs too. Especially today, I think he was like shaking or something. I can tell in game because he was playing pretty badly. But you know, I feel like in playoffs, players are usually more nervous. So I don't know. I just feel like it's easier to exploit them. So yeah.
Henrique DeMoore here for .esports. Question for the coaching staff. Obviously, it was a very short time you guys had to scrim. Take me through kind of what the goals were as soon as you knew that the bottom lane had to be changed. Was it more about adapting Kaori to what you guys were doing, or learning about what Kaori's strengths were and then formulating a game plan around him? Or is it not even fair to think of it kind of that binary?
Like honestly, when we were with Daniel, like he has like his exceptional like champions that he played like so well. So we were trying to like adjust to like his preference. But with Kaori, like we were actually going for what we think is right, like generally, not just in NA, but like in the whole region. So it was like pretty exciting experience for me. And then like the expectation was like actually like winning finals. I kind of fucked it up today, so it's my bad.
This is Jeremy again. I have another question for JoJo. So obviously MSI was your first ever international tournament. Now you're getting ready to head into your second one. You know, what did you learn from MSI, or how are you going to prepare for Worlds differently? You know, do you feel better prepared for this now it's your second one to hopefully, you know, perform better this time?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think I'll play better at this Worlds than at MSI. I've said a lot that I learned a lot from MSI versus, you know, the best mids in the world. So yeah, I think this time it'll definitely be better.
Question for JoJo from Remote Media. Are there any players in particular that you're looking forward to playing against in Champions Queue?
RGS. No, I mean probably Chovy, because I never versed Chovy before, even in Korea and even like in MSI obviously, so I've never versed him before, so yeah, I would like to verse Chovy.
Question for Vulcan. What are some of the differences between Danny and Kaori's play styles and tendencies that you've observed so far?
I think Danny is more happy just like scaling for that game and just going even and trying to farm as much as he can and playing for team fights, whereas Carey will try to play more aggressive in lane and try to build a lane from minute one, and just like a more aggressive play style in general.
Any other questions from in-person media? All right, we'll call it there. Evil Geniuses, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for the questions.